So I just want to let everyone know that things are going to be a little out of order because the beat officer called me this afternoon and said I won't be able to get there until like 7:15. So obviously he won't be speaking first. And if anybody would like to sign in to be, this is not mandatory, but if you wanted to be added to the email, if you are not getting emails from me, it might be because I have your wrong email address and it's getting bounced back, which there's 5 of you. Or, alright, don't. Yes, and I had you, I just didn't have you click Wilson. I'm like, oh, well, that could be the problem.
I don't want to get somebody in front of here.
I'm just going to steal one of these for me. For fire.
Some of these chairs are already used. Yeah, they got like some grant money for them or something.
Yes, that is
Sarah, I'm sorry. I silenced my phone for the meeting. Okay, good evening everybody. Welcome to the January Wilson Neighborhood Meeting. I'm going to start off with introductions. My name is Angela Whitecomb. I will be your outgoing neighborhood chair. Hint, hint. So I would like to, anybody, if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody where you reside, if you want, like what street you live on, and anything else you want to say about yourself, please go ahead. You can start with Judy, who I already put on the spot.
I'm Judy Haskins Chacon, and I live at 319 South G Street, the white one with all the white lights that my mother's been doing for years. Mama passed away in November of 2023. So it was my grandma's house. Started building in 1910, ended in 1914, and my grandfather bought it for my grandmother as a wedding gift in about 1942. Wow. And it's been in the family ever since. Alice was my mother. Yes.
I remember meeting Alice in the My name is Nancy Switzler, and I live on 218 South G Street. I don't have the same story.
Sister Mercedes, we are the sisters, some of the married, we live in G Street, and we take care of the sick, and we're coming here to join.
Welcome.
My name is Purificación. I'm from the same community, and I'm in charge of the conference, and I hope to keep this place nice, and improving Osner to, the way it looks. Thank you. It's nice to be here.
And my name is Sister Guadalupe. I'm delighted to be here. I'm very fortunate to be here too. So, and we probably met some of our previous sisters. We're pretty brand new, here, but so we're glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Carlos. I live on G Street.
Oh, you do?
Oh, me? Okay.
You're up.
I'm Robin. This is Rick Cohen. We live on the corner of F and 4th.
I saw you guys speaking when I was walking.
I wonder where they're going. We should have kicked you out.
Hello, I'm Phil, and this is my wife Rebecca. We live on Doris in the blue house with
No lies.
No lies.
Which house? I'm sorry, I missed that.
458 Doris.
Doris.
Yeah.
Greg and my husband George, we live at 227 South G.
Hi everybody, my name is Gabriela Rodriguez. I'm the councilwoman for District 4. I live on East Street, close to Driftwood.
I'm Matt Whitecomb. I live at 252 South G Street.
I'm Sylvia. I'm at the corner of F and 4th.
I'm Katie Behrens, and this is my husband Vince and my son Joseph, and we live on the corner of 3rd and F.
Hi, I'm Steve Fleischer. I founded Christmas Tree Lane. I've lived on that street all my life. And I won't tell you how long. So I want to say one thing. I almost didn't hear what the nuns were saying. I went to Catholic school. They always yelled at us. We always heard it.
It's 519.
I know,
that's what I did.
I'm so
That's
sorry,
what I'm doing.
everybody.
Now's your chance to get back at the nuns.
Please, sit on the couch. Todd, you're up.
Am I up?
Yeah.
Todd Theory, 144 South F Street, the train house.
Andrew Dixon, Oxnard Code Compliance.
I guess you could go.
Sean Kessler.
There you go. You're on.
And you live, you don't have to share where you live. but you want
Deodora.
This way?
Anyone else want to?
Eric Andrus, 155 South G, the Henry Levy House.
I'm with the City of Oxnard. My name is Sandra Griffith, and I work on D Street right here.
Hi, I'm Isaac Collip. I'm the chair of the Sea-Doo Neighborhood Council. I'm just here doing some recon, seeing how you guys do things.
Fantastic, okay. Well, thank you, everybody. So I'm going to move on to the highlight of the night. No, it's not the highlight of the night, but it might be the highlight of the... Oh, Gabe, you want to say who you are and where you live?
Hi everybody, Gabe Turan, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember District 2. I actually used to oversee half of your neighborhood, and then when we redistricted, the line got moved to Doris, so we have this odd zigzaggy where 5th Street's the line, but Doris is also the line. But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm here to just observe and visiting different neighborhood councils as well, so always happy to see large engagement, so thank you very much.
I just want to thank you all for coming tonight. Last meeting, I didn't have a quorum. Like, there were 5 of us in this room. So I'm really appreciative that you all made it tonight. And I know that you're all here because you're so excited to volunteer to become the next neighborhood council for Vincent. And so I'm just going to go ahead and move us on to the election of officers. There is 3 general positions well, there's more. I take that back. You guys can all see the things on the side where we need a chair, a vice chair, a secretary, a treasurer. We do have money. The city gives us a credit card with some funds to buy cookies and stuff, or to do neighborhood potluck. That's what I've done with it. Is I've done the neighborhood potluck and bought cookies. I probably haven't spent it all, and sometimes I do it to get more flyers, but anyway. And then we have members at large. So hopefully we can get a nice big body so that we can be a more effective neighborhood council and strong like the city thinks we are. So, believes we are. So I would like our voices to be nice and loud because we are a huge asset for our city. So I will take nominations from the floor for any position at this time, if you want to do something, or do you want me to do it one at a time? I don't care.
Does everyone have a flyer so they can read what is required of them?
No. There's a
There they are.
bunch over here.
So whoever didn't get one, let's grab it because
Hands
you
up,
want to
folks.
know what you're volunteering to do.
Yes. As the chair, you're gonna preside over the meetings. You go to the INCO meetings. Well, I'll just let you guys read.
I want to fly.
Respond to questions and concerns about the neighborhood.
Can I get a flyer back here?
The INCO is the Inner Neighborhood Council Organization, and
Those are different,
they
Andy.
meet
Those
once
are
a month in council chambers.
Sell for them.
And it's each neighborhood chair goes and they come in and they report on what's going on in their neighborhood. And they also get information from the city about other things that are going on, and they go back and report to the neighborhood as it pertains to their neighborhood. That's how I found out about like the little trash cans that you're gonna learn about later. No. Well, yes, but they're like this big. They're little trash cans. I got them. So, I'm happy to stay on, not as chair, but as something else. You guys just, whatever's left over, I'm more than happy to fill in a blank. But so, does anybody want to be chair?
I will be chair if I get some help from my lovely daughter on this starting out, because I've never been chair before and I want to give it 100%.
I second the nomination.
Does anybody want to run against my mom?
One of us for a party.
Okay.
My husband will
I will help you in whatever capacity is required. All right. Do we have a nomination for vice chair?
Angela.
No. I wanted to be secretary.
Oh.
Because
Vice chair is like the vice president, you just show up.
and go to the INCO meetings when Mrs. Barnes is unavailable.
No volunteers.
Come on, please.
How
about one of the nuns? Get the nuns in there.
You're gonna do it? Thank you so much. We have a vice.
Nominating yourself, Dan, for vice chair.
Much to my dismay.
Do we have a treasurer?
I nominate Angela.
No, I was yes.
Can I make a suggestion that you not that you combine treasurer
And treasurer,
and
secretary.
secretaries?
The two biggest jobs.
Getting 3 people started off, getting 4 gets more difficult.
Well, I've got members at large, and this is where I'm going to pitch all the work. Yes, sir.
I just had to remind myself, and Mr. Fleisch is correct, that the bylaws allow you to combine the secretary and treasurer, or
Okay.
you can choose a neighborhood to have 2 separate people, or if there's 2 people interested. And for members at large, you can have at least 1 to 3 members at large, or as many as 7 members at large. So it's all up to you all.
Dan will do it.
Mr. Flynn, did you want to volunteer for a position on the
Welcome,
board?
yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know anything about city politics. I've never heard of it.
But yeah, as Mr. Fleischer mentioned, you can combine roles.
Okay. All right, so I'll do secretary and treasurer. It's not a big deal. It'll make things easier for the city.
It's a pretty busy
Yeah.
position.
So busy. And duties of members at large. Okay, so this is what I really want help with. I need block captains to pass out flyers, to get the neighborhood out, to go in and like, if you would like do Doris, this is why I asked you where you live. So if like I have someone on Deodore that says, I will more than happy go up on Deodore. Where I also really need help getting information out is the other side of C Street. I'm really good at getting Fly Street and F Street because I've got really good volunteers that religiously go and spread out the flyers. I did H Street yesterday because I had leftover flyers, but the city doesn't give us enough of these to do the whole neighborhood, so we have to use some of that money to make more flyers.
People here from the city tonight listening to you.
I know. So, but it's also very expensive, and flyering is not the most effective form of communication. I don't think I have a single person here from H Street. I have 1 couple from Doris.
That's because I invited them.
Right.
On email.
So that's why I'm thinking if I have block captains and you guys can go out and talk to your neighbors and say, look, we have a neighborhood council meeting, please come, we have cookies. It would be really effective. Yes.
Should you do the borders? What are the borders of the Wilson neighborhood?
the borders of the Wilson neighborhood are right on the top of your flyer.
Okay.
So they go 8th Street to Doris, all the way to Oxnard Boulevard and to 5th Street. So it's a pretty sizable neighborhood. And there's apartments in there, and there's a lot of people that aren't getting reached. And I'm only one person with way too many hats. That's why I wanted to take one off tonight. So I'm trying to get my neighborhood to share this wealth, because I think what we do is too important for it to be ignored.
So we can do flyers on Doris.
Excellent. Any other volunteers for any other streets?
I can do whatever street you want.
Excellent.
Are you doing members at large?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes. So when you say I will do this, you are now a member of at large.
Well, you gotta take a vote from your people.
As we all take the slate as volunteered and say aye or nay. But I just want to kind of get, is somebody take, you're videotaping?
Mm-hmm.
Can you take notes and send them to me?
Sure.
Can you be my de facto secretary tonight? Thank you. And then, anybody else want to volunteer to do a certain zone?
Put
that
me
they're-
to F Street, since I'm gonna be the president, I'm not going to pass.
Is that once a month?
I'll do
It's as many as the chair, we have as many meetings as the chair would like to have. We could have them quarterly, we could have them monthly, we could have them bi-monthly. I tend to not try to bog us down with too many meetings unless there's something important to talk about. Excellent, thank you.
I can do Deodore.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, and I have Palm
I'll do
done.
whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm on your street and you do that, so I can do whatever.
I appreciate it. I need East Street.
How do we do seed at Oxford Boulevard? I feel like it's a lot of businesses, like, isn't there a downtowners association or something that would, I don't know. I know nothing, just asking questions. Sorry.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
But no, there's like no mass emails to the residents. That's 5.
I know.
In so many
Uh-oh.
Monday.
Okay.
They held up much off.
There is, but there's not like a mass email that goes out to everybody that lives in those areas. Yes?
It just seems like in this day and age we should be trying to get those email addresses though, as opposed to just constantly passing out these flyers. So on the next flyer, let's ask everybody to turn in their email addresses.
Excellent. I appreciate that input. So we will on the next flyer to have this email, and you know what I'm gonna do is, as secretaries, I'm gonna create a new email that's just wilsonneighborhood@gmail, that we could just pass it on to the next person, so that it's not just me.
I have a question for Dave, or anybody that can answer it. Oxnard Boulevard, even though technically it's in the neighborhood, no one lives there, and isn't it only residents that are members?
Businesses are invited to this as part of your community as well.
But can they vote?
Can they vote? The bylaw's open here. I believe if
There's
you have
a
to be a
difference.
resident to be a voting member.
Okay.
A business owner, I don't believe can.
All right. So they're not, the point I'm making is I don't think they're interested. Generally.
Depends on the neighborhood.
Generally.
And the person.
Yeah.
Well, they would be involved in the downtown district if they were a business owner.
Or if they were interested, they'd be involved in the downtown district.
I mean, if we had a representative from Sycamore or Mercy Housing, or which is now in our neighborhood, that would be, it would be
Yeah,
really
they used
effective for
to
them
come.
to come to our meetings, and they were invited.
Yeah.
So, can lead a horse to water, can't make him drink. Yes.
If I don't have a horse. Do you maintain like an official Wilson Neighborhood Council internet account of some description that everyone can get to?
Like a Facebook page or more of a,
No, the other one's my pen. Sorry.
Or an
Online
email
presence. What online presence does Wilson Neighborhood Council
we
have?
do not have a web page. There is the city has where you can go and look up like what's going on in the neighborhoods, but there's not like a quick link. Some neighborhoods, I know the Wagon Wheel, they set up a whole website
So if
for there, so.
if you're the treasurer,
Yes,
do you have access to spend, I don't know, $10 or $20?
yes.
And set that
The
up?
city gives us a credit card, yes.
'Cause
But
then-
if somebody else would like to set that up, I am not a web person.
One of the things that might be quite useful is just setting up a form
Are you
and
good
a
at
QR code, and everybody can just blim
That's
the
what it's
QR code,
That is
fill out their email
Careful how you
address,
say
and
everything.
then get onto it.
Yes, please.
And if you want to set up an app and all of that
Yes,
kind of activity too, you could do that as
Right,
well.
because not everybody goes on Nextdoor, not everybody goes on Wilson, not everybody goes on Instagram, and I mean, not everybody answers their email, not everybody like gets my email, sometimes they go spam, so having that would be very helpful.
Can I nominate myself to
Yes.
be a member at large that kind of gets knee deep in that?
Yes, please. That would be amazing. Okay, can you tell your name so Eric can put it on the,
My name's Phil Mann, and I live in the blue house on Doris without the lights.
Without the lights.
Thank you so much. Yes.
You'll never find us there.
Just for the record, I didn't realize that you didn't have a secretary here noting that stuff.
Right,
Maybe-
that's why I
Now
had
that
Mr.
I hear,
Andrus.
realize that's that.
Yeah.
But when the lens cam is off, or not off, but they're, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
you scared me.
Perhaps you can have each of your nominees repeat their name for the camera, so you can note it in the minutes, and
Yeah.
then whenever you're done, you can take your vote.
Yes,
So,
please.
great, thanks.
Thank you. So, as it stands, can our chair please stand and announce herself?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta get used
I
to it.
can't believe I volunteered for that job. Katie Behrens.
You can
Yeah. You know what? You get to choose what night the meetings are.
Oh my God, could you make them during the day?
Yeah.
They don't?
Sure, good.
Take whatever day you want.
It's all up to you.
Anytime, any day.
Tuesdays are always good, huh?
Why don't you make it a vote for
When I
what's-
take over, the meetings will have to change to Tuesday nights. Oh.
Oh.
I have my tap dance
Tuesday
class.
night.
Are you the only one?
There's city council meetings on Tuesday
Oh,
too.
city council, okay, how about
Never come.
Wednesday nights?
Why don't you just make it a vote? Why don't we make it like
Wednesdays,
a,
Wednesdays?
At less.
Well, let's get Katie elected first.
Yes.
before she-
Oh, that's
And then our vice chair.
Dan?
Oh, that's me. Hello, everyone.
Dan?
Dan.
Hands around.
And Angela Whitecomb, your secretary treasurer. And then members at large, please stand and announce yourself.
Oh, Phil Mann, member at large.
Are
Do
we
you
the
guys-
people who hand
Yes.
out stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Robin, Owen, and Rick.
Sorry about
Oh, F Street.
Okay,
And Judy Haskins Chacon, G Street.
excellent.
And Rebecca Mann, Doris Avenue.
Excellent.
One more.
And one more.
John Kessler.
Thank
Exactly
you.
7.
7. So, excellent. So, all in favor for accepting the members as presented, raise your hand. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries. We have a new chair. You want to get up and talk now, or do you want to wait for the next meeting?
But I want to just say one thing. I am so happy to see such a strong turnout. A strong neighborhood council makes for a good neighborhood. It makes us powerful, and it also makes us friends. So let's keep it up. And I will have cookies.
She'll probably have better. All right. So I'm going to introduce everybody to Sarah Ahern from the Waste Division.
Environmental resources.
Environmental resources. So close. Sorry. And I got all the ports there, so you can plug yourself in.
Are we going to be able to see this?
Yeah. It's up there.
Oh.
Get fancy here.
I'd rather have a movie.
Well, yes.
And
If
some
we
wine,
outgrow
yeah,
this,
yeah.
I'm gonna force the city to open the Wilson Senior Center back up.
It's close.
They just don't wanna staff it because it costs them money.
It has nothing to do with the environmental resources.
No, it doesn't.
Well, while Sarah's setting that up real quickly, I'll just share for the flyers and the promotion of your meetings. When I was the chair of Fremont South, when I came in June of 2017, we hadn't had a meeting in about 5 years almost. Our previous chair had just become absent, even though he still lived in the neighborhood, he stopped holding meetings. So we dropped off a lot. And after becoming chair, I still had the executive board that previously we had before. They were really great, every single one of them. And we still did hand delivery of the flyers, and they were full-size flyers like this. And then shortly after, the city had budget cuts and eliminated all flyers. Like they wouldn't print anything, even a Post-it note for you or anything. So we ended up getting, they would make them for you, you could email them if you wanted, but we ended up doing the half sheets, and that gave us double at least, and we printed them with our own money. But then we started asking people as they came in, just as was mentioned by Mr. Andrus, write your name, and then also share your contact info, your email, your address, but also your text phone or your cell phone number if you're comfortable sharing that. But then we asked, how would you like to find out about meetings? And it was flyer, email, phone call, text message. I had 2 people who said they wanted a flyer still. The flyers made no difference, even though we kept spending money and our effort to put them out there. I hand delivered those flyers to those 2 people who requested them. Everybody else wanted either email or text message. There were a couple seniors who wanted phone calls, and we called them. But other than that, we kept getting the same core 30, 40 people, and that was their preferred way of being contacted. Then when we did kind of hybrid meetings with Zoom, that allowed people to come who wanted to be there but couldn't, and were there making dinner and just listening in. So just a heads up for you all that I loved hearing that conversation, because a lot of neighborhoods have been exactly where you are, and how do we keep this momentum going and get people here who want to be here, or how do we document what happened so those who couldn't be here can get the info. So you're still the chair if you want to call it. You have a question? Go ahead.
I have a question for you afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely can.
How much do the councils get?
Ooh, I should know this.
$500.
Yes, $500.
$500?
Yeah.
And it's not a credit card, it's a
It's a debit card.
It's a spending card that is
I-
limited in what you can use it for.
I know Los Angeles is bigger, but each of the 99 neighborhood councils in Los Angeles get $32,000 a year.
Ooh, okay, well, yeah.
They don't have to worry about whether they can pass out a flyer to the neighborhood, because there's enough money to do things like that.
Well, that would be an amazing dream if we had that kind of money to spend.
And their neighborhood services is probably about the size of our rec department.
Well, it would be
where
interesting.
You all have Samantha.
Exactly.
It would be interesting to do the proportions, how big the LA budget is and how big the budget is here, and see if it's even equivalent.
Yeah.
Put a member at large in that.
Exactly.
They signed up for special projects.
Right? Somebody wants to take that on, if somebody wants to volunteer for that information and
I'll
do
look it
that
up.
research, excellent. Okay.
You can bet I'll let everybody know.
Fantastic. Okay.
All right, thank you guys for giving me a minute to get set up. I want to start off by thanking both of the council members for being here. It is really important for the whole community to come together, and to have council members that show up when they honestly don't have to is something that I really appreciate the support of, and I know that as a neighborhood you guys appreciate the support, so I just wanted to thank you guys both for being here today. I have made a brand new slideshow presentation today, so we'll see how it goes. It should be good. I mashed a few of them together. So my name is Sarah Ahern. I work for the Environmental Resources Division. So Oxnard is pretty unique in the fact that we are our own trash hauler. A lot of other places have third party, such as like in Athens and E.J. Harrison and Waste Management. For Oxnard, it's Oxnard though, which actually gives us more control over how the system works. Stuff has to go through a Prop 219. It's not a private company, it's a public sector. And so it is a benefit to us as a community. We do get a say in rates and how the service goes versus a private hauler where you do not. The other thing that we have is a material recovery facility. So all of the waste goes to this facility and it's source separated that way. When we did our rate study, we had some videos made. I have got 2 clips I'd like to start off with, and then we'll go from there. One too many. Here we go.
The Del Norte Regional Recycling and Transfer Station is located at the corner of Del Norte Boulevard and Sturgis Road in Oxnard. It operates 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to make collection seamless for the residents and businesses who depend on us. We handle municipal solid waste, referred to as trash, recyclables, green yard waste and organics, and some household hazardous waste materials. We serve over 39,500 customers. Our facility and its services are available to the city's over 201,000 residents plus business members. We employ 179 full-time essential workers to handle the many facets of our operations. We are bound by stringent local, state, and federal mandates to ensure that our community remains safe and healthy.
Okay, so this is the operational side of that now.
The Del Norte Regional
Here we go.
Last year, we collected almost 684 million pounds of municipal solid waste, recycled material, and organic waste. And the people who make that happen are right here in the Environmental Resources Division. So how does it work? After the waste materials are collected from your neighborhood, our collection trucks bring it to Del Norte. Each truck is designated to collect just one stream of waste. Trash, recyclables, or yard waste and organics. The material they carry is weighed at our scale, then proceeds through its disposal journey. Trash is taken to the facility's tipping floor, then gets dropped in haulers and transported from our facility to Waste Management Simi Valley Landfill for disposal. Recyclables and organic waste go to our materials recovery facility, known as the MRF. The MRF is where materials are processed by city staff. Materials are then moved through a network of conveyor belts and hand sorted by our essential workers who remove contaminants and sort them appropriately. Recyclable materials are put into bales and prepared for shipment to be sold on the open market. They'll be reused by manufacturers, both locally and around the world. Workers also sort green yard waste and organic food waste at the MRF. Sorted yard waste is hauled to Agriment's Lime on Air facility in Santa Paula to be composted. Sorted organic food waste is hauled to Agriment's facility in Simi Valley to be turned into compost as well.
Okay, so that's the basis of the operation. I like these little short videos, so I incorporated it in just so that you get a visual. I'm personally a very visual person. I also like things explained to me. I wouldn't say argumentative. I would just say I like to understand the reasoning behind things, which is, I think, a big key when it comes to the regulations that we have for our trash. So we live in California. California is beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's wonderful. It is very, very regulation heavy, especially when it comes to the waste stream. We are seeing it now more than ever. So previously, what was focused on was just recyclable material, like paper, glass, cardboard, and getting that. I know that there's a myth that that recyclable material doesn't actually get recycled. I've seen all kinds of little things where someone said, I put a sensor in a bottle, I watched this bottle go to the landfill or what have you. But I hope you could see in the video that it does get recycled and it goes into bales. So those bales are a commodity for us, so we sell those on the open market. And we are an enterprise fund, which means that we cannot operate at a profit. And so in that case, if we can take materials that we have, such as recyclables, and we can sell them, then we don't need as much from our ratepayers. So not only is it actually happening, but it's saving us money if we could all do it. So that is AB 341. And then came along AB 1826, which is for organic recycling. So before, organic was pretty much just thought of as like yard waste, green waste. But now what they want is CalRecycle wants to make sure that organic waste stays out of the landfill. So the first part of this only hit on commercial businesses, but as of January 1st, 2022, it now impacts everybody. This came from a 2008 study that CalRecycle did. What it found was that the third highest producer of methane gas in California was coming from the landfills. So they're calling that a super pollutant, and their goal is to divert 75% of that out of the landfill. And so for that reason, they made a very, very strict regulation called SB 1383, and that is why we are now asking you to separate out your organic from your trash. Has anyone received any outreach about that yet? One. Thank you, Councilmember.
Actually, it came out when that bill was passed.
It did, yeah. So I think it goes back to what we were just talking about in here, is how you get communication is hit and miss. I am the outreach education specialist, so it would be me who is getting information out there to you. I am trying to figure out what avenues do the best. There's always utility bill inserts that come out, but some people get it electronically, so that doesn't work. We're looking into digital and radio ads, so we're trying to push forward to let people know what the requirements are. It is part of our city ordinance, but it came from the state. So it's a state regulation, and the reason why they're doing it is to try to keep that organic waste out of the landfill. When you can keep it out of the landfill, you can use it as a compost, mulch, renewable energy. People can make it into animal feed, and that way it has a purpose. That's why it's still called recycling. It's recycling your organic waste because it's being turned into something else. So trash, the most commonly mistaken items that I've seen in the trash are like styrofoam and takeout containers. Those are not recyclable. The chasing arrow symbol does not mean that it's recyclable. It does not mean that it was made from recyclable products. What it is, it's the number on the inside is going to tell you what type of material that it's made out of. So just because it has the symbol does not mean recyclable. So styrofoam, that one stays out. Recycling, there is no plastic bags. I know some people put their recycling in the plastic bag, put the whole bag into the cart. That's not how it gets sorted. You guys, I don't know if you saw it clearly, how they hand separate stuff. So they're not ripping open the bags. The bag's gonna pass them right by. So it needs to be out. And the other thing is it needs to be clean recycling. So super, super confusing would be like a pizza box. So it's cardboard, but it's got grease on it. So that grease is not clean cardboard, so it cannot be recycled with the other material. And then for organics, the confusing one now is that the way that we are able to keep our food scraps from going to the landfill is to have residents place them into a bag and then place it into their green cart. So it's going to be all organics now. Previously it was just yard waste, but now we need those food scraps in there to keep them out of the landfill. The reason why you're asking for them to be bagged is because when they come to our facility, our staff hand sorts those out. So the green waste goes one way, it needs to go under 1% contamination. So contamination would be anything that's not supposed to be in there. So anything that's not yard waste, grass clippings, leaves, branches, that's a contaminant. Whether it be a piece of trash or a piece of food, it can't be mixed in with that. And so once it goes in, it gets dumped on the ground, we're hand sorting it out, and then we're putting it through our conveyor belt system. Now that's a very old system. It was not meant for green waste to go through there. It gets caught up, and so that's why the capital improvement project that you saw in the rate studies, it's to help update that facility so that way it functions at a higher level, because right now, it was built a long time ago and it wasn't meant for this yet. So that is with the food scraps. Does anybody have a question on that before we move on? Yes?
The green bags that the supermarkets often give you to bag up your groceries, and it says, this is compostable. Are they really compostable?
So compostability depends on the environment that it's in. So just because it has the ability to decompose does not mean that it's necessarily going to get put into the setting where it decomposes. So no, those compostable bags are not currently being decomposed. That needs a certain heat and a pressure to it in order to get that material to break down. But it is good for your food scraps. What I've been personally using is like bagel bags and like fruit bags and that. And I've just been putting it in. I left the countertop pail in the back. I'll get that at the end. We have those for free to give out to all of our residents to help with that. We understand that it is, it's asking a lot. We know that it's not convenient because I know the way my kitchen was set up is it's for 2 bins, one for trash, one for recycling, and now we're asking you to add another bin to it. A common concern that people have had that I've heard in the past, which if you have different concerns, please bring them to my attention so I can help you navigate through it, is that, oh, it's gonna smell, it's gonna smell. I don't personally see the difference of a food waste going into a trash bag, whether it goes with a green lid or a gray lid. No one's been able to explain the difference to me yet. And so it's not convenient, but it's not adding additional rodent or smelling problems as far as I can see. Again, if somebody has something that's become an issue, we don't know, and then we can tackle it together, yes.
I think it does make a difference to some of us because we either have one gray trash can that stinks or we have also the green trash can that stinks. We also have a lot of possums and raccoons in our neighborhood who get into that thing and they rip open those plastic bags and the food goes out all over. Did you say that if the food touches the green then it can't be?
Yeah, it needs to get sorted out. So if the food is in the green at our facility, we have to hand pull that out. So when it goes to the conveyor belts, we pull it out. That's a fair point. Okay, so it's smelling in 2 different containers.
Because yeah, we have a lot of raccoons and possums in our neighborhood. They're in the trash cans all the time and ripping those open.
And they're opening your lids?
Yeah.
They're frightened. They're smart.
I don't know. I use C-clamps on mine, and when I put them out, I take them off. That's up to you guys. We can talk about maybe some strategies for it. But the reality is that I understand that it is asking a lot. I understand that it's really heavy. I personally, at my house, I can divert about 70%. I'm not able to do all of it, depending on what it is. For the pizza boxes, I'll admit, I just throw them in the trash. I don't pull them apart and put that in a bag and put it into my.
Some cities are giving out the separate little waste bins too for the food scraps.
That's the countertop though, or an
just like the 5-gallon tubs, like you would get at Home Depot. They're green.
They're big.
What do you, just out of curiosity, once they get those, what do they then utilize them for? Are they using that for collection?
For the food, for the fresh food.
Yeah, once it goes in there though, what happens to it next?
Somebody else, the city comes out and picks it up.
So the other person comes and picks up an additional container?
Yeah.
My mom lives in Wainimi Bay, and these are single, usually occupants, and it's a green waste bin, and it's about this tall, and they want them to put all their food scraps in there. And it would take a really long time to fill it up. And so it was such a nightmare. And so they didn't want it in plastic bags.
Was it Wainimi that does it, or is it part of Silver Stream? Because that's Harrison.
Wainimi, I think.
So when you're talking about Wainimi.
Wainimi Bay is Wainimi.
Okay, Wainimi's the hauler?
I think so.
Retirement community.
Retirement community.
Yeah, probably Harrison.
It's Harrison then.
Oh,
That's Harrison. That's not Wainimi. Wainimi brings their waste through our facility, so they're doing the same thing. They're a little bit behind us as far as the regulation goes. I think that their manpower is a little bit lacking. Those are not separate ones. Those are 16-gallon ones. They are charging people for that service. So you already have a green card. They never had them before. They only ever had trash and recycling. So what they are doing is they are adding a brand new service. So even before their yard waste was just going into the trash, there was nowhere else to divert it to. So that's why they got those extra ones. That is a full cart. That's not something, it's got to be, I've seen them.
Big.
It's 16 or it's 32. It's probably, the really small ones are 16. Those are somewhat rare because of the fact for the truck grips. That's a different grip to grab it because when it grabs it, it goes up and then it slips. So if you're talking about getting smaller containers, you're also talking about re-outfitting the grips of our trucks, which is definitely feasible. It's not that the future can't change things. It's just that right now the residential rates doubled because of the fact we hadn't done a rate study in 10 years. So what we were looking at is what do we need right now to get us up to speed. We can't operate in the red. Costs have gone up. Everything for every cost has gone up. So we have to keep up with that. And so what we try to do is say, hey, how can we just level ourselves out? So in the future, once our current CIP projects are done, future projects like that can be talked about because I do understand that the 96-gallon green carts, they're huge and that not everyone has space for them or not everybody is able to easily pull them in and out. I do understand that that is not always the best option for everybody, but from a cost standpoint, from what they were looking at was it is cheaper for us to have a larger container and charge the 64-gallon rate because you get charged based on your trash and then just eat that cost rather than having to pay for a bunch of different size carts. It goes back to cost. So it's like we already doubled your rate. So what can we do right now to fix these problems? And then once those are fixed, what's the next step? You know, what is something that we wish, hey, I wish we had been able to do this before, these projects are set, what do we want to do next? And go through that way. So that's what's going on with Hueneme, and that is definitely Harrison. I'm going to go to the council member.
Can you share with the people the fines that are involved if the city doesn't comply, when they go into effect, and just how much they are?
Yeah, so we do have fines as far as contamination goes. We are doing lid lifts. That is one of my slides. I will let you know that it is my theory that fining people is not going to be necessarily the most effective. The first fine starts at 100, it goes up to 200, then 500, and escalates from there. What I would like to do is...
Please, I missed something. What are you talking about fining people? For doing what?
Contaminating the trash.
For contaminating your trash. So what the state
My trash is already contaminated.
What are you throwing in there that you think that?
Everything that doesn't belong in the green waste or the blue waste.
Well, that's not contaminated, then that's all trash. So that's a like item that should go together. So what's contaminated in trash, if you had a piece of paper and you put that in the trash, that piece of paper is a contaminant to the trash. Because it should not be in there.
And how does the city know that that is going on?
We are doing lid lifts right now, which is one of the slides.
I have a problem with that, because what's that thing's in the alley? I have no control over what goes in it.
Right, somebody else can put
something in it.
in
And you're
it.
gonna fine me for what's in it?
What the Council Perrello was talking about was that, yes, within our ordinance, we have the right to fine residents for high levels of contamination. At this point right now, that's not where we are at. I actually am going to table this. I do have a full slide on it, and so I'd like to come back to that right then.
But just to say though, you would have to be able to prove that the resident did the contamination and not a bum walking down the alley.
It's your barrel in your alley on
All
your
right, here we
property.
go.
I have no control over it.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand that you do not have control once it goes through your street. When it goes through your street, we are doing annual route reviews now. We have a system that does it. It's all random. It has red dots. We are going to audit every single residential cart by doing what we call a lid lift. We're going to lift it open. Myself, I'm the one who's doing it right now, because if I'm going to tell someone else to do something, I'm training someone right now. I'm going to have done it myself. I'm going to work out the kinks. We're going to have questions together, whether that be residents or staff, and then we're going to keep going from there and evolving. So right now we have an OOPS sticker. So if we come and we find out that you have high levels of contaminant, we're going to put an OOPS sticker on it. We're going to tell you what was contaminated and where it should have gone. If we continue to find the same things over and over again, that's when it becomes an issue. If somebody is using all 3 carts as trash, which I have found a handful of times, then I'm going to put this OOPS sticker over the front and we're not going to collect it, because that's not a mistake and that's not okay to contaminate the whole trash load. So when you have trash in your recycling and you put that in there, then it could ruin all of the recycling in that container, which could have been used for revenue, but now we're paying the landfill. So that's what we're going to do. These are the countertop pails I was talking about, and this is the way that it's going to get done. It's going to get done manually with a lid lift, and it will be me or someone who is similar.
But you're never going to be able to prove
Can you
this.
share with the public, this is not something for the city to make money? The state of California
It's
is
not
mandated.
for the money. We could get fined by the state.
But you're never going to be able to prove this. I have people walking down my alley all day long throwing stuff in my trash cans. I can't be responsible for
I start
them.
at 5:30 in the morning. I'm going to be out on the street by 6. If there are small items and a little bit of confusion, there's not going to be any fines. You're jumping very far
I have people
ahead.
throwing full trash bags in my trash
We have to
cans.
keep our trash cans on our property. We're not supposed to keep them in the alley.
Yeah.
Which I am incredibly guilty of, because getting my trash can out of my backyard and into my alley is not an easy feat.
And I'm disabled. I can't be doing that all the time.
If you're disabled and you have a note, we can come and we can pull those out for you. So we can get that set up so you're not the one
Oh,
who's
come
moving
on.
them in and out.
That's
We have to
ridiculous.
take a little bit of responsibility
No.
for ourselves.
But you have to be responsible for the people that are putting stuff in our trash cans that aren't our responsibility.
It's a code that
That's
you
a
keep
code
it
compliance
off of the
issue, and
public
if
property
there's-
until.
But I
collection
can't
day.
control the people putting stuff in my trash
As an OOPS
cans.
sticker, but have you run into an issue yet? Do you have an issue about this OOPS sticker or your trash that you'd like to
I don't care
address
about the
right
OOPS sticker. I care about the potential of somebody coming and giving me an OOPS sticker because somebody else puts trash in my trash cans.
There is a lot of theoretical potential
Oh, no, it's every day happening. I have a video camera on the back of my alley I can show you.
Concerns. I'm concerned about driving home and getting an accident. I'm concerned about this. I'm concerned about that. If it has not happened yet,
Oh, it happens every day. I can show you on my video cameras. People throw trash in my trash cans.
Well, let me ask you, wait a minute here, just to get through this. Are you saying, however, when somebody has a disability, that there are certain accommodations that are made?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I think if that is your specific case.
It isn't the specific case. It shouldn't happen to anybody.
He's leaving it in the alley, someone else is coming along and throwing it, and then we're gonna have a problem when I come and lid lift and I tell him, hey, you did this wrong, and he's gonna say, I didn't do it.
You're going to have to
That's
prove
the
it.
issue.
You're going to have to prove it. You're going to end up in court because people are not going to be able to be penalized if somebody else is throwing trash in our trash cans.
Sarah, I'll just say that I think where we have a gap here is, as someone who regularly picks up trash and puts it in cans that are left out all week rather than just collection day, I see that as, when I throw it away, I throw trash in the trash can. If it's a recyclable CRV container, it goes in the recycle can. Okay, but if somebody, the difference here, if somebody comes and throws a bottle of used motor oil, Eric, in your can, that's where your concern is, right?
Right.
And how often has that happened?
It happens all the time, Gabe.
Used motor oil in your trash
I don't know
can.
about used motor oil specifically, but I get full bags of trash thrown in my green cans.
Okay, and this is what Sarah's referencing, is if they use your trash can and you don't want them to, and it's hard to bring it in and out outside of the collection day.
Nobody should have to be faced with being penalized by this city with red tags because somebody else is throwing trash in our trash cans.
All right, so let me finish my statement. So, number one, if the issue of bringing it in every day so people don't use your cans is a disability issue, we have a program in place for folks who are eligible to have our staff bring it out and take it in on collection day. Outside of that, when it is out,
yes, it's true.
So I can have someone else take my can out of my yard and put it in the alley?
Yes.
And put it back away?
Well, that'll be pretty. I own the historic Henry Levy house. Wouldn't it be pretty to have all my trash cans inside the property instead of in the alley?
Well, it's a code. I bring mine in because it's the code.
But nobody does it.
I don't say nobody.
Mine's in my yard. Most people don't.
Excuse me, last part.
Don't say most.
Last part, Steve. Last part, hold on. So, outside of that, on collection day, if you're worried somebody's gonna come by and put a contaminant in there, whether it be used motor oil, or they put a trash bag in your recycled can, and you get an OOP sticker, that's the issue, correct?
For everybody, not just me.
Okay, well, outside of that, I don't know, and that was the question she had, was how often has that happened for you?
This
that
goes
people
back
put
to
in the
living
wrong
in
things?
California. This is not Oxnard, this is everybody. Honestly, my neighbor next to me put a pizza in there and she got a letter saying if you do this again, it's gonna be contaminated. That's not what Oxnard's doing. We're still in the education outreach phase. I'm aware that everybody has not received all the outreach for it. We are trying to figure out the avenues to do that best. This is the regulation. This is Cal Recycle's requirement that we do lid lifts. We get audited every year on this. So we are following the state regulations for California. If there is an issue in the future and there is a tag and you get and there's a number on the bottom, you can call the number and we can discuss it. But right now, talking about something that hasn't happened, and we may never get there when it happens, is not the best use of everybody's time. But if you would like to talk afterwards, we can go more one-on-one about
Well,
that.
it's part of your presentation. I thought that's what we were talking
I would
about.
like to let other people ask questions too, as well as a beat officer is waiting.
Actually,
Okay, I'll shut up then.
I don't have a problem, I just don't want to talk in circles with the same question. So that's something that you and I could do offline.
I felt like I said different things every time.
I have a question.
Did I misunderstand what you said from what I said? Or you put it out there, someone else puts it in, you get a new sticker, possibly a fine, it could happen to
It
anybody.
just boils
Is that
down to
what you said?
the city is going to have to prove that we put that in there and not somebody else. I am not responsible for somebody else putting something in my trash
Okay,
can.
I understand what you're saying, and I hear you. I totally understand what you're saying. I understand your concern. I get that that is something that could be.
That's a
addressed in the
legal
future
issue.
if it's
How
a
about
problem.
this? How about this? The city's gonna have to navigate through all of these things, right?
And we've got two other people that have questions.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I just want to say, okay, so, and I don't want to be argumentative,
It's not- I wanna
but my
hear you.
case is similar to the gentleman's back here. I live in a, and that, my trash cans get out either late at night tonight, because tomorrow's my pickup date, and or because people put stuff in there. And I have an idea. I don't have cameras.
Right.
I have to put it out just before they pick it up.
Okay.
So there is another case, right? So
Yeah.
just the idea that I have to watch out for this. I already do. I take
Right.
stuff out when it doesn't belong to me, right?
Yeah.
So that's another example. But I just don't want to be argumentative. I think there's other cases around it.
It's not an argument, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's a fair point that could happen, it's a fair point that you're not necessarily the one that did it. It's a fair point that, hey, how can you really prove that I did it? I understand all of that. What I'm saying is at this juncture right now, we haven't hit that yet. We're just doing education outreach right now. We're doing the lid lifts, we're doing them at a higher volume now. We have extra staff for it, and we're trying to follow the state regulations. And the less contamination we have, the less money we need from our ratepayers, and that's the bottom line. I am not currently interested in any type of fines yet. Down the line, yes, that is a possibility. That's not on the table right now. And if there's any concerns that we want to continue testing, I'm not trying to get anyone to stop talking. I'm just saying let's move on from this conversation, and we can circle back around in the future, whether it be tomorrow, a year from now, whatever you prefer. Yes.
In brief, rather than have like an immediate fine, like a parking ticket, is there an option for repeat offences, which would then kind of weed out the notion that this was something that was habitual, or that it could just be a one-off situation where somebody contaminated your trash?
There's no fines right now.
No.
There's no fines in the future.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen right now is a noob sticker. I'm gonna continue to, if there's containers that are highly contaminated, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that on an audit list. So then every week, we're gonna go and we're gonna continue to do the same one. We'll continue to do the oops sticker. If it continues, I'm gonna put this oops sticker on the front of your list so that the driver doesn't empty it. And then once it gets source setted properly, or you guys pay for us to come and pick it up, we'll pick it up. If it's a problem where you're getting that and it's not you, and you're saying, hey, you keep doing this every week, I'm clearly on your audit list, I'm not the one doing it, then at that point, we'll have a conversation. There is no fines right now.
That sounds reasonable.
That's it. It's just to come in, put an oops sticker. If it's something that's very simple, you're not gonna continue to get audited. It's just a reminder to let you know, hey, this goes here. Really hard offenders that are not changing are going to keep getting the oops sticker. After a few oops stickers, when you've been on the route, we're gonna stop picking it up. There's a phone number on the bottom. If it's not you, you call that number.
I wanna go on another topic real quick. I have the standard size barrels. I rarely put them out even more than once a month. I don't have that much waste of any kind.
Okay.
Is there a small, I see smaller barrels available. How do I
There's
get
the
them?
64, there's 64 gallon and there's 96.
So I have the 96s.
If you want to switch your trash down to a 64.
Are they cheaper or are they gonna cost me the
No,
same?
they're a little cheaper, but only the 64 is gonna drop down in size. The price will drop down, but only the trash will drop down in size. Per the last rate study that we did, the cost
So
of
the
service
blue and the
study,
green are gonna stay the same?
they're gonna stay the same, but your price will go down. You get charged by your trash. The size of your trash is how you get charged across the board. That goes back into eating the difference of the money versus getting the inventory. That's where the price worked out there.
So I don't understand, you're gonna weigh my trash and my blue barrel?
There's no weighing. I'm saying that for the price goes by what size trash you have. But for downsizing right now, to downsize the recycler green waste is currently not an option in our ordinance. It is not for our rates
Well,
ordinance.
of the three, that's the only one that I put out more than once a month, so that's
Well, if
okay.
you're not using it and filling it up, then you should go down to the 64 and we can go ahead and get that. I'm gonna be sitting in
But
the back.
that's only the grid.
That's only the grade that will go down in size, but it would drop your whole price down. But the green and
Oh,
the blue
okay,
will not
'cause,
go down in size.
So many weeks, none of them are out.
Zero waste, that's awesome. Zero waste,
I
yes.
live alone and
I have a question, just general for you, at the opposite end of the spectrum. I heard you talking about making money off of the trash and so forth. You have-
Recyclable.
Huh?
Recyclable material is the only
Right.
thing we make money off of.
Well,
Everything
do
else
you
we
have,
pay.
do you see an issue with people collecting, mining, those recyclables? Is
Yes,
that an
that's an
issue for you?
issue. That is an issue, but that's a code compliance issue.
Put in the barrels or what is the code compliance issue?
It's an issue, yeah.
It's actually theft of city property.
I was proposed
So we have a code
a
compliance
parade
officer
for you
coming here, right?
sticker.
He's here.
Right there, somewhere.
I'm sorry.
I want a sticker that says, "Yay for you," and you get a little star wrapped. You put everything in the right place. And we'll come around and check and be like, brilliantly, gold star, hooray for you.
I will mention that in the next meeting. That, you know what, honestly, some jurisdictions have that where they have like a good job sticker.
That would be awesome.
I opted not to do that, but that we could go around on that. I'm gonna regret this, but yeah.
So Taylor on her,
Yeah.
I have 2 trash cans, I'm gonna be charged $65 to put locks on them.
That's a different conversation that
That's
I
a
need to take
commercial.
care of.
Correct, so, but my commercial,
That's my dad.
That's your dad?
Oh,
I've been
don't go
helping you,
there.
really? Okay, yeah.
So
You never
my-
paid for those.
And I haven't filled out the form, so.
so my question is that my trash,
Yeah.
because it's open in the alley,
Mhm.
is everybody's trash.
Yes. We
So-
already put over that. So the.
Yes, I understand that, but just like everybody else, I really work hard to make sure that we get it all organized and everything else,
Mhm.
and I really work hard at having very little trash.
Right.
So because I have very little trash, everybody else fills it up for me.
Yes.
Right.
So this is the challenge. I appreciate having the locks on it, and I like that, because we've tried that for the last 40 years,
Right.
right? And so now we have this opportunity to do it.
Right.
And as a business person, I'm helping the city out. You guys are making money off of what I'm giving you, in an odd way. You know what I'm saying?
It's going against your rate, so I'm a little confused.
Okay, all right.
I don't totally understand.
Well, no, I only in the sense that I'm trying to do the right thing.
I really appreciate you doing the right thing.
Because I've had everything you can think of.
It needs.
I mean, let me just say, I'm in downtown. I've had people living in my trash.
Yeah,
I have had,
yeah.
I can tell you stories, me and the trash
Please,
cans
please
are here,
don't.
we're there. But I'm just trying to say is that, you know, I really do want to have
You have a
it.
very lengthy agenda.
I'm just making it.
Wrap it up, Vince.
I did.
So the commercial sector of the dumpsters, that's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be lid lifts. The way that we're gonna
But we don't have green
that is going to be a different form of outreach than a noob sticker.
Okay.
So that's coming. Right now, we're focusing on making small steps and meeting the state's requirements, and we are literally in the middle of an audit right now. We just turned over all of our records, and fines roll downhill. So we get fined, rates go up, it rolls downhill. So we're all just trying to do our best. This is an environment that we all live in, and we all should be the best stewards of it as possible, understanding that everything is not gonna be perfect. Councilmember Perrella, please don't make me talk.
This gentleman is ahead of me, but this gentleman asked a question, and you have the opportunity to have code enforcement address it, and we're fortunate to have a police officer could identify what it is theft when people take stuff out of the trash. And with this crowd here, I hope we'll share that.
Would you like to
Sure.
come up and speak on that? Perfect, thank you.
So the city has a code, that's correct. You cannot place something in somebody else's trash can. You also cannot remove something out of somebody's trash can or recycling bin. It has to be very, very solid evidence, like Mr. Andrews said, cameras, license plate, clear. I actually wrote a citation to a local carpet business recently. On camera, pulls up in his marked van with his license plate clearly visible, takes all the remnants of a house, he removed all the carpet and threw it in somebody else's industrial trash can. Not only did I get him for dumping it in somebody else's trash can, I also got him for no business license. However, once your trash cans are on the street or in the alley for pickup, it becomes city property. So, somebody goes and removes something of value that belongs to the city without the city's permission, it becomes a crime. And it becomes a PD issue. I cannot arrest people. All I can do is write a civil citation, which is an administrative fine. Mining, you call it mining? Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, it happens a lot, and not just in Oxford.
And that falls into the police department's.
That would then fall under the police department. Now,
That goes for also like people putting scrap metal out, it doesn't fit in the barrel, they put it out for the city to pick up, that shouldn't be mine either, right?
that I don't know. You see the trucks driving around overloaded with the metal. hanging
Yeah,
off.
like a bed frame or
Some people
whatever.
call those people though, in all fairness, some people call them and then
Yeah.
do a curbside collection for them.
Yeah.
So I don't
That doesn't make,
necessarily.
but the phone call doesn't make it legal, is it up to code? Is it,
Well, the city's not picking up waste that's not in the cart, and so that, as
well,
far
they
as
used to
the,
pick up all kinds of metal.
You can call for an extra pick.
that's a
oversized-
bulky item pickup, if you wanted to do that, and then we can pick it up that way, but residents
Thank
are
you.
welcome to
Thank you.
have other haulers come for like the metal, and then grab that if they're gonna take it.
You could put anything in these alleys and it'll disappear.
That's true.
Sometimes we are in another alley.
That's usually because somebody will come by and free want it, and then the city will have to come and pick them up, and then we all have to pay for that.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time,
Not all the time, but it is a problem, and you've seen it, like with the mattresses, nobody's gonna pick up your mattress.
I'm getting a smaller barrel, you may have said it and I missed it. What do I do to get that?
I'm gonna connect with you as soon as I'm done, you're
Oh,
gonna give me
okay.
your number, and I'm gonna help you navigate through the
Sarah,
system, we're gonna
Sarah,
get
do
it
you
on
have a
order.
weight constraint on those cans?
Yeah, I think they're about 300 is where it maxes out, and it'll say on the top of your lid.
We used to have one so you could put anything in them.
Oh man, those old trucks, they'll pick up anything.
And
It
they
was
would put
gray
eggs
and
and
blue,
block them
that
up.
thing was a beast, yeah, I could grab anything.
Can I ask a question? So like an envelope that has a plastic vision thing, is that recyclable or is it the plastic isn't but the paper is?
I mean, the plastic isn't, but the paper is. I personally pull the plastic off and I put the plastic in the trash
Okay.
and then the paper in the recycle. But that goes back to, again, what I said in my household. I'm about 70%. I'm gonna guess on the low end, it's probably a little bit higher. I don't expect everybody to do everything perfect. I don't expect everybody to just pick through every little thing. What I'm asking for is I'm asking for everybody to just think a little bit more about where they're throwing it out. Think about if the recyclable material is clean. Think about if it can be recycled and just kind of what goes where. And that's for your own pockets. That's for taxpayers. That's for the landfill. That's for the environment. That's for all of us. So that's all I'm letting you know is that it's a state regulation. It's very heavy. I don't expect everybody to know everything, to do everything. I'm still constantly learning.
So
and
there
I
was
do
a
this for a
time they
living.
said pizza boxes was okay, now they're not okay?
It was never okay. It's kind of like smoking, right? Like it didn't cause cancer and then it did. It's the more you know.
And drinking does too, but.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes.
So I've noticed
We
the
gotta
next thing
start
on the
something.
agenda is there's a tour of the station.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be great. Yes. So when Angela reached out, she had all kinds of ideas, and she said, "I want you to come to my council meeting." And I said, "That's fantastic. Let's talk about your ideas when I give you a tour of the facility, so that you know kind of what you're asking about and where it goes and what isn't feasible." So Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at 10 a.m. at the Del Norte Recycling and Transfer Station, Angela will be meeting me there, and I will be giving a tour of the facility. You need to have closed-toed shoes. It is where trash goes, so I'd recommend shoes that you don't like love and would be really heartbroken if they get a little bit dirty, not that they can't get washed off. A hard hat and vest is required. I will supply that for you. So I hope that any of you that are able to make it join me, and that you let other people know. My viewpoint is that the more that people can see behind the scenes and they know what's going where, then it goes back to understanding. You understand how it's processed. You understand what's going on, knowing that everything's not going to be perfect. So, yes.
It's 10.
And
It's
number-
on the paper.
Yeah.
Number one, if you can make it, highly recommended, to see it in actual practice and see the people down there unloading the trucks, sorting on the conveyor belt, seeing all the heavy machinery and what's involved constantly every single day. And that's just from everything collectively from everyone in the city for that day. That happens 6 days a week, as Sarah had mentioned. So highly recommended. But what I was gonna say is, regarding all of this, and I've said this to Sarah a number of times, what I've learned from Sarah and from Roberto and the others on the team has really shifted the way that me and my family sort and look at our trash. Number one, other countries have been doing this for way longer than us and have way more sorting cans than we do of 3.
Yes.
Right? And there's some countries where they don't get collection. They take it themselves to a place where they have to sort and get rid of everything. But my kids now, after these many years, it's just second nature to them that
food scraps go into the food container that we have, which is like the little ones that you can get tonight. Those go in my organic waste. Anything that is recyclable, knowing what the little numbers are, that goes into the recycle. Everything else is trash. And after years of doing this, last year, I realized that we had all three of the large, the 96-gallon cans, and my trash one was constantly like a quarter full. And maybe 2 bags of the kitchen trash cans, 13-gallon bags. And I talked to my wife, I said, we should try downsizing to the smaller trash one. That's the one you can downsize on, and it'll bring the cost down, like $8 or whatever it was. I said, okay, let's try it out. And we've never filled that little trash can up, the 64-gallon one. The other two are still the same size, which is great, because the recycle one fills up a lot, and when you get landscaping done, the green one fills up a lot, including the food. So it just feels nice to be able to realize, like, hey, I'm actually reducing out of trash and putting it in the landfill in a family of 4. And not only that, but my kids, this has just been their experience, and that's how they're going to be even better than me when they get older and when they're my age. So just wanting to share that, I feel like that's a great feeling for myself. I hope others see it that way too.
To piggyback on what Gabe said, the City of Oxnard Environmental Resources Division does contract with Shows That Teach, and they do go to elementary schools for free for any elementary school that requests it, and they do assemblies. So there's one that's called All That Trash, and then there's one that's called the Crazy Bottle and Can Show. So that is one of the ways that we are doing outreach. My hope is that someone's kid will go home and tell them what to do, because I think that they'd rather listen to their kid than me. So that is something that we're promoting. And then I did take the liberty of changing the slide, so if we could do one more, 2 more questions. Yeah.
When I was chair, our Wilson neighborhood was a pilot program for putting all the barrels that go in the alleys, which is most of our neighborhood, with a few exceptions, all on one side, either the east side or the west side.
Yes.
So that the truck only had to go down the alley one time a week.
Yes.
That pilot, I was told, worked very well and is still in place, but it only was put in place in a couple of streets. The guy that was in charge of trash at that time, his name was Todd, said if it works and we save money, we'll do it everywhere. Because you're going to save money. You're going to save man hours. You're going to save truck mileage. You're going to save our pavement. My pavement's a mud hole because there's too damn many trucks going down my alley.
Right.
They've never expanded it. It's still only on a couple of streets.
Well, we're currently
That's like 20 years ago.
We're currently working right now on truck routing software. That is something that I can speak to the collections chief tomorrow in the office, and I can say, hey, where are these working? It was so 20 years ago I was not working for the city. I've been here for 9. So we can revisit that. We are trying to make our routes more efficient, and we're looking into that right now. But I do understand what you're saying, where it's one alley and then they just go through and do it that way. So that is, yeah, that's definitely something that is up for discussion, and I will bring that up, and then we can circle back around and see what would actually take and to make that feasible.
Yes. Just a quick, how long is that tour?
It's about an hour. I guess it depends on how interested people are. I brought a family member thinking they were going to love it. The quickest tour I've ever done. She was not impressed. So, yeah. All right. Are we okay moving on to what else we do?
Yes.
Positive? Okay. All right. So household hazardous waste. It cannot go into your trash. So the City of Oxnard's Environmental Resources Division collects it for free at the Del Norte Recycling and Transfer Station. So that's Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 3. So the way that this facility works is it goes by county permit. So what we are permitted to take is antifreeze, oil filters, latex paint, light bulbs, batteries, e-waste. That's what we are allowed to take. For items that we are not allowed to take, we contract with Clean Harbors, so that is free to all of our residents. We pay for that. The downside to Clean Harbors is while they take more waste than we do, they also do it by appointment only, and it's on the second Friday and Saturday of every month. So I understand that it's not convenient. You do have to go out of your way to do it, but that is a free service that's provided. So the number on that is where you would call, and then also if you have any questions to verify, to make sure what you're bringing is accepted, reach out to them, or you could reach out to myself, and then I can, if I don't know the answer, I will hopefully be able to get back to somebody. I don't always get information back quickly either. Yes.
When we do our neighborhood cleanups,
Yes.
do we have a
No hazardous waste at neighborhood cleanups. Yeah. Yes.
So all those cleaning products at the bottom are full, right? The empty containers.
Empty
can go.
containers can be recycled. Full containers need to go to Clean Harbors. The reason why it's by appointment only is because there's so many different things coming in. They have a chemist on site, and so before everyone brings stuff in, they know what they're getting.
Spray cans as well, same thing, if they're empty.
So
you
spray
can go
cans,
to
if they're
trash.
totally empty, you can throw them in your recycling. If there's anything in there at all, they are hazardous waste still.
Yeah, puncture them, make sure
If
they're-
you have with paint, if you just have a little bit at the bottom, what I do at my house is I pop the lid and I just let it dry. And once it dries, it's trash. If there's any liquid on it, it's not trash though. And so for water-based latex paint, that can come to Del Norte. For if it's any kind of oil-based stain, paint thinner, that needs to go to Clean Harbors. My recommendation on that is if you have stuff that Del Norte accepts, but they don't accept everything, you don't need to make 2 trips. Just go to Clean Harbors. If anyone recycles their CRV bottles and cans for money, it is connected to the same facility where you could bring your light bulbs and your batteries and all your small items that you have. And so if you're already gonna be there, go ahead and drop everything off all at once, because I know I make little piles. And then for me, obviously, you know, I work at a place where it's easier to take them, so it's not easier for everybody. But so for my mom, she doesn't live in Oxnard, so what we do is I make little piles of them, and then we drop them off, like at the library accepts them in Thousand Oaks. So that's what we do, but I don't go every single time, but if I'm already gonna be in that area, drop it off. Yes.
For the paints,
Yes.
you can return them to Home Depot, Dunn Edwards, whoever's selling the products at any time. You don't need to take it to Clean Harbor.
Okay, I'm not 100%, I don't wanna, yeah.
Oh, I've done that often.
And Clean Harbors is located in Camarillo, between Central and Springville.
Yeah, I've used them and they're really good, clean, straight up.
Fairly painless.
And drugs, any pharmacist will take them back.
Yeah. Again, it just depends on if what you're gonna be taking is how many stops you need to make. So you can get that at one-stop shop. They don't take any form of explosives or anything like that. That is,
Burn
that is a no.
All that C4 I have.
Yeah, the harbor flares is a big thing because we're a harbor community.
Do you pay CME to take the stuff, the final end?
The landfill stuff,
Yeah.
yes, we pay tonnages at CME. So, yeah, the only thing that we do not pay to dispose of is organic. I mean, sorry, is recycling. Or organic, we have to pay. We take it, we process it because we're the material recovery facility, so we make sure everything's source separated as best as possible. And then if it's not getting baled and getting sold, we have to pay to dispose of it, either at the landfill or Agerman. They process our green waste, Numenera, and it goes through that way. So that's all it costs to us, and so that cost just gets transferred right
You
over.
keep saying organics, can you go over briefly what that is? Does that include meat scraps?
Yes.
Bones?
Yes.
Yes.
Scrap?
Shells, yes.
So,
Anything that
Anything,
was
anything that you don't eat when you're, you know,
yeah. Coffee grinds,
well,
food
coffee
soil
grounds go under the
paper.
tree, that's good fertilizer.
I agree, so are eggshells, great fertilizer. Okay, so any questions about hazardous waste? I do have a flyer that I'll leave behind with the information on it. Not sure how many slides I made here. Okay, good, another positive, here we go. Free events for Oxnard residents. So we have free bulky item drop-offs. It's the same thing, it's no hazardous waste. You are at our facility. So if you have batteries, paint, light bulbs, oil, all of that, you can go to the front of the facility. But for this specifically, it is a huge benefit. It's a way that we're helping to help tackle illegal dumping. And so April 18th, July 11th, and November 4th. If you guys have a cell phone and a calendar, you should put that on there because right now it is $93.88 a ton to dispose of waste at the facility. This is totally free. This is for residential only. It's not for commercial. It's not for construction and demolition. This is for our residents to help dispose of the unwanted items, couches, big large of trash, furniture, anything like that. Appliances we take for free. Normally there's a $15 fee to that. So we're taking all of that on these days. It has been going on for a few years now. I don't see it stopping in the future. This has been something that residents have greatly taken advantage of, and if you're not one of them and you're interested, I definitely recommend you looking into it. Another thing that goes along with this is for residents to have their own trash bill and have 3 cart collections. So if you live somewhere and you have 3 carts, but you have an HOA that pays the trash, that's not included in it. If you have your own trash account and you've got the 3 carts, every fiscal year, so that's June 30th to January 1st, because we run on finances, you get a free bulky item pickup. So that's 5 items that you can call and you can put on the curb, and it's free. After that, it is 46 something, and it's 5 item increments. So that's another thing that you should take advantage of if you have something that you don't want. It saves you from having to go and dump it. It's part of your service now that was included. When we raised the rates, we also had put in some things as well to help offset that. Yes.
We get free pickups? I put it out in the alley or?
5 items.
Right.
If you call in and you set up a work order, you get 5 free items that they will come, the 311 team will come and they will collect it for free.
How often? Okay.
You get once every fiscal year, so that's July 1st to June 30th.
So
That's the
once
difference.
per resident?
Per account for the household, yeah.
Household, what do you want?
Saves me a trip.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. We really are trying to tackle illegal dumping. We are trying to support our residents. You know,
Well, when did that start?
it started 2 years ago. We were in the 20. This is our second time doing it. It started with the last rate study.
I was charged last year for pickup.
Well, it depends on where the fiscal year was, if it's on the rate study of it. So if it was the beginning of 2025, then yeah, this is, because it goes from when.
It was the end of
when-
24,
Yeah, just missed the cutoff on that. It went with the new rate study. When your rates went up, free service got thrown in.
So one time, 5 items.
Up to 5 items. After that, if you do more items, you might as well just throw another 5 out there because they're going to charge you the 46 something. So it's up to 5 items. So you can put 1 item out there, you can put 5 items out there. Someone just sent me an email and said, hey, I've got a mattress, I've got a TV, I've got 3 couches, I've got 1 of something else. And I said, if you bring the stuff that you could bring for free, so mattresses, box springs, we take those at Del Norte for free. It's part of the California Recycles program.
They don't pick them up anymore?
If you want to pay to have them, come and pick them
At one
up.
time, they were just picked up automatically.
Well, if you leave them on the street, they'll pick them up automatically, but we're starting to crack down on that. Our 311 team is looking into mail and trash that's left with illegally dumped items, because our rates are going into that. We're paying, and so we're paying for other people to leave trash and for all of us to collect it. And so we're trying to stop illegal dumping by A, offering city services, and B, going after the bad actors and saying, hey, we know this is you have to pay for this. So we were never just picking them up for fun, for free. That means they were being illegally dumped, and the city obviously doesn't want waste everywhere. We're doing our best to keep our city clean, and that's something we need the support of staff, residents, businesses, anyone that comes into our city. And the way to really show that, hey, this is a nice clean city is for us not to have trash and everything everywhere. That shows other people this isn't a dumping ground for you to come and dump your stuff.
How about the alleys?
In regards to what?
Is there any differentiation between how you treat alleys from streets?
No.
So if we're required to put our barrels away, we're required to put our barrels away, whether you put it in a street or the alley.
Right, yeah. So I've used this free service and it's extremely effective.
Wonderful.
And the people that you speak to on the phone are super helpful and it works really well. So
Wonderful.
I appreciate this service.
I think Sarah knows what I'm going to say about mattresses. So mattresses, as Sarah mentioned, we expend a lot of resources to go pick them up. It'd be great if the state, all of us residents of the state, with all the things that are happening, the legislature has to consider, similar to the CRB, the can, we all pay 5 cents when we buy something that's recyclable, and then
10.
in theory, or 10 for some things. In theory, we can get that back later if we take it back to a reclaimed place. If there was something tacked on, like it already is for mattresses, which lets us bring it for free, imagine if there was something where the state would allow cities to pay people, hey, bring us your mattress, we'll give you $10. I guarantee you'll never see a mattress on the street ever again. And there will be people going around looking for mattresses to bring to our recycling facility. So just throwing that out there for you all. If you see that in the future being kicked around, I've talked to our state legislators about it, and they got a lot of stuff to worry about, but anyways, just throwing it out there.
This is my contact information. If anybody wants to take a picture and reach out to me, it can be for negative reasons. I do care about how you feel. I am here to work through problems together and see if we can figure out a solution that works. Everything doesn't always work out, but it does matter to me how you feel, and I don't want you to ever feel like the city's just forcing things on you. I want you to understand where we're coming from, and if there are things that come up, to be able to address those gaps as best as possible. We're all here trying to work together, and the Environmental Resources, as of right now, has 189 people that are really working hard to keep everything clean and safe. That is the main thing when it comes to trash, is it can become a safety issue. And so our main priority is safety, and then going from there, it's just making sure that we are providing the services and that the residents have us to reach out to if something is ever needed. So please don't ever hesitate to reach out, whether it be to complain, to say there's a problem, to say what a great job, anything at all that's on your mind that you want to work through, please reach out to me. And if it's not me who's able to help you, like let's say it's a collection, something, let's say it's not about the sticker, it's something about the collection, then that I can get you to the right person, because I'm not necessarily it, but I'm sure that I can find the person that you need to talk to. So thank you guys for your time, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna introduce our beat officer because he's here now.
Thank you. I didn't know there would be so many people. I was just going to more.
Excuse me. Just want to share a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, there's a restroom. If anyone needs to use the facilities, it's straight to the back and around the corner. There's only one, so you'll have to return.
Hello everyone, sorry I'm late. I was coming back from a recruiting event. But I'm here now. So has anyone not met me before? Okay, so I'll do a quick introduction myself. I'm Corporal Jay Benson. Been a police officer now for 23 years. Born and raised here in the city of Oxnard. I was born in St. John's Hospital. And I was a graduate, went to Lemonwood Elementary, Haydock, which now Dr. Maynard, and Challenge High School. I'm actually in committee. I'm planning my 30-year high school reunion right now, in June. So I'm homegrown. I am temporarily your beat coordinator for now because Corporal Lucy Butel is out on injury, so I'm stepping in, taking over, and for the last 6-8 months, probably doing it. I'm the beat coordinator of the B24, which is like Center Point Mall, Santa Clara High School, everything south of Woolley, to Collins, Savers, and Patterson. That's what I'm in charge of. But more than welcome to step up and help you guys out. So if you guys want to look at your beat maps, what we do is we put up the beat maps. I pulled the stats the last 30 days. Pretty good. It's only had one assault, which occurred, a brandishing of an individual. Female had a knife, a brandished, had an argument, brandished to someone else. That person was arrested. We had one burglary and 2 stolen vehicles. One at Sycamore Village, and the other one in Navarro on First Street. Just remember to always lock your doors, only be keeping your car. A lot of problems we're seeing with stolen vehicles is rather Uber drivers or DoorDash will get out of the car, car running, go deliver it, and then stolen, they come back and the car's gone. Let's see, it's been shift change now, so we have a new set of officers in this particular area. So my job is to hold a district meeting, we're having it next month with the officers assigned to this area in B22. And what I do is do a PowerPoint presentation, what's the crime trend, look at the stats, some of the problem areas, and any concerns that you guys have. So very important to use the 311 app. I know you guys have used it. I use it almost every day, especially if a lot of graffiti or getting graffiti in my area. I see it, get out of my car, take a picture, 311 app, and the next day it's gone. And a lot of people in the neighborhood appreciate it because they don't want to see it, but they're scared to report it retaliation. And what I do is I tell them, like, well, that's my job, and keep this neighborhood nice and clean graffiti. No one wants to see that stuff. So I really encourage use 311 app, even if you have complaints in your neighborhood. I get those 311 complaints, and I address it right away. It's rather it's a lot of parties, a lot of party calls, argue with your neighbors, loud music, or trash cans. Quality of life, that's my job. Versus you contacting 911 and having a police officer who knows how long you've been waiting. If you have a concern with a neighbor or you want me to address an issue, quality of life, you let me know. And you have my email address.
Yes.
Pass out to everyone. And I think we're fairly good for the last 30 days of this area. Is there any concerns or that you guys want to address with me? Go ahead, sir.
I wish this was like for the last year, because behind me, I'm at the Henry Levy House. We had a murder just under a year ago in February at H and 2nd. And just a few months ago, we had a stabbing in the alley behind my house. In the fall, I had a man break into my yard and just stand in the backyard waiting for a drug deal on 2nd Street. So there's a lot more going on than what this brochure shows. So do you have any stats for like the last year in Wilson?
Yeah, I can pull the last stats for next meeting.
Okay.
If you like.
There's also, the sisters are here because they've been experiencing theft of their bronze lettering in front of the convent. So it's been an issue. We're working on replacing it with something that's a lot less valuable, with the same look. But it's an issue, so guys, just be aware that anything that we have that's brass or bronze that's out for people that take it and recycle it for their, whatever they're gonna use it for, I have my own assumptions. It's an issue, and it's an issue citywide. We're losing copper in the parks. And you want to know why lights aren't working around certain areas in the city? So a lot of it's due to copper theft. So, and that's really expensive, and it's not cheap, and it's a quality of life issue, it's a safety issue, and it's a big deal. So I'm not a big tattletale, but I always like with this kind of stuff, if you see something, you gotta say something. If you see something that's happening to your neighbors, somebody's going by, take a quick pic or speak up. Yeah.
Officer, we had our catalytic converter stolen. It was an original, it was all. Anyway, do the police officers ever work with recycling companies? Because these guys are on bikes typically, and they take whatever, the copper and the things, and they go to the local recycling centers, and they give them money for it. So, is there a way to?
The officer, the lead officer will take the initial report, and that report goes to detectives, and detectives then contact to see if you get any leads.
But it does, I heard that most of that goes into a van waiting somewhere and goes not to our local recycles, but the guys buying scrap down in LA.
About 2 years ago when I worked patrol during graveyard shift, there was a crew coming around 3 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and we would chase them around the city here in the South End, and we would interrupt them and actually try to take it right away. So I've seen a decline past year or two, not that many, but when I was 2 years ago, I remember it was a big uptick.
But is it still true that our local scrap buyers are not the ones that are buying that stuff that's stolen?
It goes all over county.
Oh, does it? Okay.
I wonder if you could speak a little to your experience of ICE agents in the neighborhood and how you're handling their presence and activities there.
Well, I know the chief has been very clear that the police department officers do not participate at all in assisting ICE with enforcement. Most of the time, they'll contact us if they're going to be here or not, but if they don't, we find out mostly after the fact that people are calling 911. So I don't suggest following them around. You know, that's kind of a dangerous game. You know,
They're shooting us now.
No. They're working, but I strongly encourage them not to follow them around. It's be very dangerous, right?
Is there a high presence in this area at the moment, or not so much?
That we don't know. That's the federal government. They don't communicate with us, and we don't ask questions about that. That's a whole different federal agency. I know we addressed it before, the concerns. When people come in, Oxnard, someone asked me that tonight during the meeting, and we tell them, you know, until that they run their own program, and that we stay away. And I think pretty much every law enforcement agency in the county has said the same thing. We don't know when they're coming. They don't know who they're going after. We don't want to get involved at all.
What happens if we see something and we don't know if it's ICE?
Right.
Because they don't always identify themselves. And you know, you go to public media nowadays and they're saying that ICE they're dressing like me. They're not always in tactical gear, like what we were seeing. They're changing their MO. So how do we know that it's the federal government that's taking somebody as opposed to somebody that's human trafficking or just plain up?
If it seems suspicious to you, like they should really be identify themselves, right?
Right.
You know, if it looks a little suspicious, always contact us, and then we can go and verify.
Okay.
Say, okay, we go up to them, okay, they show their credentials, okay, it's actually federal government doing enforcement.
But they will show you their credentials.
Yes.
Corporal, if I can speak to, were there some folks who lived on Doris here tonight? It's just, there are two of you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so which part of Doris do you live on?
Blue house, no lights.
The blue house. Carty, Doris and Carty.
Doris and Carty, okay, perfect. So, I had spoken with Corporal Boyson as well on this, and this is something he had started working on maybe a year ago or so. On Doris between Carty and C Street, parking was a premium there. There was an issue of one residence that did have a number of cars that were owned to them, and they had a lot that were not registered or had a number of fake stickers on them. And so, long story short, if you drive through there now, much different story. And he did work with the registered owner of the vehicles to not just give them a $10,000 towing fine saying, hey, there's no law against how many cars you can have. It's maybe inconsiderate to take up all your neighbor's parking, but you cannot have unregistered or improperly registered cars on a public street. So either get them registered or sell them or get rid of them or what, but you need to figure this out. And to their credit, they did end up getting rid of a number of those cars. And so now it's a lot more breathing room. I just went through it this afternoon after he told me that they finally have come to what looks like close to resolution with a few outlier cars to figure out, but it looks like it's been resolved after a long time.
I have a bicycle and a motorcycle, so I can squeeze through.
Oh, so you're good on that. But how many bicycles do you have? No, I'm just
Well, only one now, because one got stolen.
Well, anyways, for Doris, I wanted to give that update because I thought it was relevant because Doris is shared by Wilson and by Carriage Square neighborhoods. Yeah. So, thank you, Corey.
Yeah, tied into premium parking. We have code enforcement and a few council members here. What's your take on residential preferred parking permit? Because where I live, it is highly trafficked in terms of not just residential because I sometimes have to park block away from my house. But there's other folks that live around the area that just, migrate over to, my house. So I'm interested in your takes on that.
I would say
successful examples or not successful examples across the city.
that can be for your new chair.
They would not do that anymore, and that they would work with us on logistics so that there was a better time in place for these vendors to go. And after that, it was my understanding that BC Defensive was gonna back off so that you could do your job. But I don't know if that ever.
It was never conveyed to us.
So that's another reason that the city wants the TUP for Christmas Tree Lane then, is so that you can invoke that thing to keep the vendors away.
Correct. And then there's things like the
Got
California Fire Code, where you cannot have an open flame on any city public or any.
Yeah, but a lot of those
city
vendors are like the cute little light up balloon things, then the kids love those. So it's, when we're banning all of them.
So,
yeah,
Andy,
we-
they're not on your Andy, what
They
did
They
you
are.
recommend? They're not, you
They
just
are.
said they weren't.
This year they weren't, they usually are.
So I have a question, would it be recommended that we identify maybe 4 local vendors that could be part of the TUP? I'm asking.
So,
Well, if you give it to one, how do you say yes, okay to one and not to all?
well, and then
They
the
should
other problem
apply.
is.
You all would decide that, should that be the case?
I
So
always-
I do events at Oxford College all the time.
Yeah,
Your
Oxford
TUP.
College, they have an
And
umbrella.
if we we have a whole district that we need to have certain standard agreement, liability, health enforcement, like everything under the sun, sometimes a lot. And then these are the vendors that we have, and then other folks are just asked to stay away 500 feet because this is a,
Yeah,
an
I read
event,
through this.
Yes.
I love the idea of a food truck area, and in the little parking lot right there at St. Anthony's. That'd be an amazing.
Okay, Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, sorry.
But you'd have to get Santa Clara to run that, because my understanding is that this group does not have the bandwidth to take on an
I can
additional,
appreciate that. If you've grown up around here, I was born at 333 North F Street. St. John's. There was always the lady that had
yellow things.
the tamales. She would be pushing the baby stroller, selling tamales. The idea was she would then be able to legally sell those tamales, make a living. She's providing, a great food source and putting money in her pocket. That was the intent. Unfortunately, that little bit was then taken and just stretched to this massive beast that we are dealing with now, where they follow my staff home. They sit surveillance on my office every night. Every night. Because they know that if my team is here after 6 o'clock, then we're gonna be going out and shutting them down. They've learned our hours. We play this cat and mouse game. We were here last night, dealing with car wash vendors during the day, dealing with the vendors at night. We have to switch things up. It is
nuts.
cat and mouse. It is nuts.
Why did they concentrate on F Street?
I don't know, because I heard they were on G Street.
They were on
We didn't have any.
last year.
We had,
Opening night, there was an issue with somebody actually setting a tent up on somebody's front yard.
Oh, that was,
Yeah,
that was
happened
not
this last
opening
year.
night. That last year, they set up in my driveway.
And last year, we had 2 local hot dog carts, actual licensed carts, setting up on the corner of 4th and F on both sides. I had one of them show up, and he was parked, I think he was parked on F Street this year.
Second and F.
Is it feasible to say that because we have this permitted event, Christmas Tree Lane with the TUP, we can add these preferred vendors that we actually want to be involved, whether it's up the street, at the cul-de-sac, or on specified corners or whatever? If that all happens, now can something be done from your standpoint against these knuckleheads
I'm
from
still
LA?
challenged with, we're not sworn officers.
Right.
So in order for me to compel you to provide me with your ID, I would have to place you under arrest. Being non-sworn law enforcement, I cannot do that.
Right.
Our bread and butter, the original intent of code compliance is, I hate to use the term, we're the HOA for the city. We deal with private property issues. Because the house is not gonna move. well, unless it's a mobile home. But we don't regulate mobile homes anyways.
So is there no scenario where we have this list of preferred vendors, and if your name's not on it, and you can't prove that your name's on it, then now you get fined and kick rocks, like that doesn't happen?
It's still having, how do I ID the person? Unless there's a license plate, and then that's actually what we were doing the night that the group surrounded us, and
So what do we do?
So we can't issue a special permit to this selected group of vendors?
Well, we can, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna prevent the
But-
other
yeah,
outsiders from
that's a
coming
problem.
in.
Well, I know, but why do we, if they don't have that, why are we checking anybody else's? If they don't have it, just get rid of them.
How do we get rid of the guys that aren't on our permit?
That's-
That's the big question.
Yeah.
And
How are they
I
doing
think
it now?
That's one of the
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
things to
The
do.
councilwoman mentioned, this is not your only discussion on this. If this is something you want to pursue as an idea of establishing, hey, if we do this permitting, or we already have this in place, let's look at adding this layer of, we have vendors we're partnering with who are part of our team, who are gonna be allowed to be there selling wares and selling foods, because they have.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but how do you get rid of the ones that just come in and set up anyway?
So I think the first decision is, do you want to pursue this? And the second decision is, how do we keep others out legally? And that's where you can continue the conversation, and you can do research, city attorney's office do research. We can see what other cities have done with success as well, and we can probably replicate what's happened with the larger pop-up vendors.
so we're
It's
going
gonna be the
to
power of our
city
dollar.
I
It's
mean,
gonna have to be-
elsewhere in the state.
It's gonna have to be the power of our dollar, right? So we as Oxnard have to say, buy from Oxnard. These folks, these people who have been sanctioned by us are our Oxnard brothers and sisters.
You know
who
what,
wanna
I give
support-
that message to people out on the street, you know what I get? I get this, I get fuck you, you're a son of a bitch. Why are you bothering these people that just wanna make some money? I'm hearing all kinds of
Well,
stuff.
but when people learn
I don't
about
hear
the
anybody say, oh,
generation.
well, where can I go get a cup of coffee?
We have thousands of people coming in from outside of here is the problem.
I think Angela was
There's
right.
people
when she
coming
said
in from outside.
Campaign.
Visitors are
Some way
not
to
the problem,
promote
the vendors are the
that
problem.
you have
Well, they're not,
local
I'm saying that,
These are people in our community.
Yeah.
We want to support them, we want the business, we want those tax dollars to be found.
They're
Angela,
just gonna have to
may
have
I-
enough produce.
may I just make a quick suggestion? I think Gabe was moving, and both members of the council were moving in the right direction. This is a more complex issue than anybody would like to admit it is.
Yes.
And it's not simply wave a wand and it's gonna go away. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of planning. I would recommend, not make a motion, I would recommend that we have a committee
I agree.
that is gonna work hand in hand with the city, and we come up with something that's gonna work.
Do we have a volunteer that would like to head that committee?
I'll do it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The sister did have a, she mentioned, well, what about on private property? So, it works out really well. Private property, if they show up, say the parking lot right there, you set up the food trucks in there, that's private property. That's a whole different can of worms. Because now somebody comes on there, we can warn them, you cannot be here. If you come back, you're being arrested for trespass. I cannot trespass somebody, police cannot arrest somebody for walking up and down a public sidewalk. It's a public sidewalk. Private property, it's a different thing.
You know, my
So
deed
that
says
might-
that I own the parkway.
Right.
If we own the parkways, that's private property.
The parkways are an easement.
Easement, but
There's
no,
an
not in
easement.
the historic district, read the deeds.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we could do that, and then
My
and
deed
then we can
includes the
release it.
parkway.
Yeah,
Tim, that sounds like a great committee agenda item.
I agree.
Yeah, let's have a.
So I've been the one that has been working with Samantha for the TV for the last few years. So I've been researching this for the last 3-4 months, all throughout California, and regarding the state bills that were passed and everything, and what are other cities doing to tackle this problem. And the larger cities like San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, the cities have actually created a task force because the state bills basically threw it onto the cities to handle it. And they actually created a funded program with a task force specific for tackling this problem. So my question is, since we do have city council members here, we have you here, is that something that the city has looked for, where there's funding for a specific program?
I would love funding. We already have a program.
There is a task force specifically
It's called the
for.
HERO program, Hazard Elimination Reduction Operation.
Okay.
It's to remove flammables from the public right of way. we operate under the California Fire Code. So my team is there in a support role, PD is there in a peacekeeping role, and a fire inspector is there determining that open flames on a public sidewalk, that's a fire hazard. Use of a gas generator on a public sidewalk, that's a fire hazard. We have had, let's see, December 23rd, one of these pop-up restaurants blew up. The one up in front of America. They were storing their propane tank underneath the burner. When gases heat up, they expand, pressure relief.
All those hot dog stands are that way.
So you can get rid of the ones that have open fire. You can ask them to leave. You can enforce that.
Well, he says it's whack-a-mole.
It's a whack-a-mole, but
no,
that
Christmas
is what we can do. So instead of just my team coming out, and I've already talked to PD about it, we've already had this discussion that we need to come up with something. We can just take the hero operation and task it for Christmas Tree Lane.
So there's a budget meeting coming up with the city, and they're doing their next year's budget.
So let me get this straight. You are gonna make an effort to get rid of them before I have to put up my decorations?
Yes.
Because if I put up decorations in there, I'm not turning my lights on.
He can get rid of the ones that have open flame. He can enforce that.
Well, what's an open flame? A flame under a grill is an open flame?
Yeah, the hot dog guys.
Because all those hot dog guys got that.
Yeah,
We're about 10.5 months here, folks.
And we're gonna have a committee, and I
goes
recommend
by
that you
fast.
join that committee to help.
You bet your
Just
butt. You're not gonna have a committee without me.
I'm not in charge anymore. I'm just the little person that's
I
gonna
already
take
had
the
that
notes.
conversation with your committee
Hero
chairperson.
program.
Tim just
Hero program.
He
We are-
volunteered to head up the committee and then he left.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, he went home to make the agenda.
So yeah, we do have the hero program. It is what we've been using to deal with the pop-up restaurants all throughout the city. We've been doing that since November of 2023. Before that, it was just my team going out there on our own.
And what's the budget
So
for that?
basically, that whole code book I got.
The budget for that is zero?
Zero.
Yeah.
So there's
So,
no allocated, there's
I
no
run it
extra
straight out.
funding?
I run it straight out of my general fund.
so there's a budget meeting
County Ventura
coming.
got $1.7 million and they have not spent a penny of it to deal with their vendors.
Well,
And how come?
Because they decided because of the issues with ICE that they are not going to do anything
Wow.
that will put their officers at risk.
So we live in scary times, y'all. This is not normal.
My staff has to wear bulletproof vests now. That's where we're at. is My staff is getting threatened.
Our state legislature,
It's-
they need to change the laws. That's another thing we need to do.
Right.
They're getting threatened by the vendors?
We're getting threatened by the vendors, we get threatened by homeowners. We get threatened
Well,
by.
I get threatened by homeowners.
All the time, right?
Then you, Todd?
We don't mean it, Steve.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but you can threaten back.
Just to throw it out there, I'm happy to team up with my neighbors at the convent and offer my yard if we want to privatize it. If they can put something in their parking lot, I'm happy to open up my entire yard and we can put something in there. And that at least gets them off the street.
Be part of the TUP and help get that language in there because it's a big, it's a big.
I'm not a
old
fan
thing.
of the TUP,
I
but
know, but it'll get it.
I am just gonna throw this out as a possibility. I don't know if it would happen, something to discuss. Would be blocking off
The-
G
the
Street
cul-de-sac.
from your home up to.
I think that's a great idea. We've
Yeah.
talked about that for
Do
block
a bird
parties.
close
so-
on it would prevent people from driving up there.
Oh, it would just, well, yeah.
Yeah, just pedestrian and make it more of the Christmas market.
And just have people that live there be able to go
Right,
through,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Just
a
an
really
idea.
good idea, and it can include, stop signs.
Well, the fire department let us do it, because in the past, they're always like, oh, no, but I'm like, you're the fire department, if there's
Well,
an
they-
issue, you go through anyway, I mean, right? I mean,
We
it's
got
just
the police over here and the fire over there, so second and third are sacred, they gotta stay open, you can't shut them
Okay, so
down.
that brings up another question of mine, which came up quite a bit in the survey, where you have these busy intersections. Some of them have stop signs, some of them do not. There was quite a few people that said, can you have people with signs, stop signs or crossing guards, that kind of thing. And I discussed this with Gabriella, and she said there's a liability issue because you have, if like volunteers from the neighborhood and they cause a car accident or somebody gets hit, what does it look like? Who's responsible for that? So, is there any mechanisms in place for, other than the traffic
That's outside of
signs?
my wheelhouse.
Okay.
That's why I was hoping PD
Well,
would
I think
stay.
we just need a stop sign and we need that little button you can push that turns the lights on. 'Cause
Well,
that way they can't pretend like they didn't see
Those
you.
are 6 figures.
Um,
For those
What's a
Push
life
button thing.
worth? What's a life worth?
Well,
But there are,
Well-
maybe just an idea, top of my head, brainstorming. PD uses globe lights hooked up to generators for their DUI checkpoints. Maybe something like that. I mean, it's not aesthetically pleasing.
Well, it's only for 3 weeks to have.
Right.
And Halloween.
Or you
They
can
used
just
to
have
be for
a
Halloween.
volunteer with the stop sign.
Well, that's.
Well, that's what I was just talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Because if there's an accident, somebody gets hit, who's responsible for that issue? So, yeah.
So you are code compliant.
I'm Andy, actually, I'm Andy.
You're Andy.
I'm
I like your hair, Andy. Anyway, so the question I have is that you're putting together a committee. Who should be on the committee? You want someone from the fire department, the police department?
Yeah, we would have our hero team, which is Assistant Chief Carson Guthrie, myself, and now it's Sergeant Mike Core, who's the head of the neighborhood policing team, NPT. That's my core group, and we organize all of the hero operations. So I would suggest we become part of the greater conversation as far as the TUP and that kind of stuff. And that way we can coordinate and come up with a plan. The hard part is, it is a huge staffing.
Well, the reason I say that is because, I mean, this Christmas tree lane has been going on for many years now, and it's only gonna continue to grow. And we're getting people from all over, and it really needs to have a grip on where it's gonna go, and where the future is gonna be. And you need to start at this point in time right now, because this is really gonna become a challenge. It's gonna get bigger and worse.
Well, or it's gonna
People are
die off.
gonna, or it's gonna die because people are gonna quit decorating.
That's right, so, I mean, it would just, that's what I'm saying, and for the city, it's a huge boon for the city. I mean, this is a big thing for the city of Oxnard. I mean, there's no other city around, close by that really kind of does
Just
what we do.
Camarillo.
Camarillo.
Well, but it's a much smaller.
It's only 1 block.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is something that the city should.
It's bigger now.
It's grown.
It's
grown.
bigger?
They're contagious.
Oh, is he gotten huge?
Yeah, my children went. I still,
Okay.
I wanted to go. I just.
Yeah,
And so what do they do? Maybe we should reach out to them and see.
They're
how-
reaching out to us, right?
Are they?
They had a lot of issues with their
they
vendors
had
as
a
well.
lot of issues this year. I'm friends with
I
them.
heard they had some vendors, but that they were all residents and that they were all doing stuff for nonprofits.
Right.
I don't know if that's true, I just heard that.
And I've got a branch right over here, I'm more than happy to sell you.
What do you want to sell?
There's a third street bridge you're gonna
Good
sell?
price.
How much?
I got my unicorn tied
How
up.
much? Can I put up a toll?
Only if I can be the troll.
I'm open to any conversation.
I would
any
like to
ideas.
talk to them, or maybe you can give us some numbers, and so we can just kind of, I think that there is no how to do a Christmas tree hunt for dummies 101, and it would be really nice to not know that at some point in time somebody does get hurt. because we
There's a,
didn't really
there's a,
have it together.
there's a couple of really good examples. West Hills and Altadena have enormous
Right.
Christmas tree lanes. West Hills closes theirs down completely.
Yeah.
So-
Street, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, we can't, they won't let us close the street. If we were gonna close the street, we definitely need to close it on Halloween.
That
All
would
those
be a
little
good
pumpkin heads
idea.
running around.
On
So anyway,
little pumpkin hill.
Um,
I was going to say
I don't
something.
understand why